Okay, so that's the intro of Devil Got My Woman from the Skip James 1931 recording, right up to where he starts singing. Break this down a little bit here. We're going to start on, we are in the D minor tuning. It's the cross note tuning. It's like an E minor chord played open, but tuned down. And so that's D, A, D, F natural, A, and D. This is the tuning used for a lot of the songs on Skip James 1931 recordings. D minor, but really it's the cross note tuning that can be tuned to E minor, C sharp minor, E flat minor, wherever you want to go. But it's a minor tuning. And so we're going to start on the third string, moving up first, second, third, fourth fret. When we get to the fourth fret, we're going to pick the first three, slide to the fourth as the thumb plucks the low E. And then, you could also, but I think it's better just sliding into it. And then basically, as we play through the rest of this first part of the section, I think of it as a D7 shape. Let's see. If you were playing in standard tuning, D7. And that goes from the fourth and third frets. And we're going to descend with that chord shape as we go. Sometimes the third finger will be on. Most of the time it will be just the first two fingers. So again from the beginning, sliding up the third string, and then the next phrase, that's open second string, third fret second string, open first string. And then using the index and middle, we'll pluck the first and second strings. I feel that a subtle but meaningful thing here is that with those two plucks, the first two you'll try to get at the same time. The second, there's a slight, almost slight delay between the fingers, just almost imperceptible. And that's the first part of our phrase. I'll play that one more time. You could actually do that little delay between the fingers both times, I guess. Now we're going to slide down for our next part of the phrase, and this will be so that is playing the first two strings. So pluck the first two, pinch the third and first, and then index, middle, and the index is always on the second string, middle finger is always on the first string, so first two, first and third, then second, first, and then pinch all three. Da, da, after that, we're going to bring the third finger down for that D7 shape. And then pluck the first two strings with the third finger down. And then the last two notes in there are a pinch of all three, and then the first two strings. So that whole thing together. And then we'll drop that down, first and second frets. And it's pretty much the same thing, very similar. You can add it, you can end that little pattern with an open fourth string. And then we'll slide second to fourth fret on the sixth and fifth strings. So the whole thing so far. Noticed there with each little pattern in the high notes hitting the open fourth string in between. And then we conclude this section. Here, second string to first string, da, 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 da. Open, open, second, open, third, and triplet one, da, 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 da. And then if we add our low strings in there, let's see. Sliding in, fifth string, open. As I hammered on the second fret of the second string, I hit the open sixth string, then the open first, and then staying on the low string. Let's see. So a lot of this playing, we're alternating between octaves and sevenths. So seventh, octave, and again this section. Back to low. So this little phrase here, there's variations of this all throughout the song. 1 and triplet 3 and 4. 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 So everything in there is an alternating between octaves, low, and then let's see, 1 and, so that's the second string, triplet, that's pinching open fourth and first, second string back to first, 1 and triplet 3 and 4. The 3 and, we're just plucking the top two strings at the same time. So let's see. So now I'll go back to the beginning and play the whole thing in context again. 1, 2, 3. So I think of that as really being the main part of the opening, but then we're going to slide up 2nd fret 1st string to the 7th fret 1st string, and then we're going to fret what is essentially like a D chord shape. And we'll count this triplet, triplet, let's see, triplet, triplet, 3 and 4. So the exciting part about this is just pinching both those strings at the same time throughout. I use the thumb and middle fingers. Triplet, triple, and then we're just going to get the 9th fret for just a moment here. I think that's the L sound of the 2nd triplet, using the pinky. Triplet, triplet, 3 and. So for 3 you go back to the 7th fret and then add the ring finger in your D shape. Triplet, triplet, 3 and 4, hitting the open 4th string on the 4th beat. And then I love this part here, hitting the open 5th to the 7th fret of the 4th for another octave. Triplet, triplet, 3 and 4, and triplet, triplet, 3 and so once we hit the octave, actually most of this you can hit those, I think, are just going to be single notes. So triplet, triplet, 3 and. So that's a little bit of a change. Triplet, triplet, 3 for, on the 2nd string there, and then here we're going to bend that up just ever so slightly to the open 1st string. Triplet, triplet, 3 and triplet. One last little triplet here, and this is back to first 2 fingers, just like that D shape without the 3rd finger. And here for this last triplet, it's open 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string. So triplet, triplet, 3 and triplet, and then we're into the verse. So whole opening section now. 1, 2, 3. When you're playing this, the last triplet, your singing would actually start there, right over as a pickup over those notes. So I hope this helps you get started. I have written out a tab for this. I'm tabbing out the whole 1931 recording, just about most of the way there. So if you're interested in studying this stuff, I've been teaching it on a Monday night workshop on Zoom, and also one-on-one. Portions of the proceeds from the workshop regularly go to the Blue Front Cafe in Bentonia, Mississippi, Jimmy Doc Holmes's juke joint, which is really the home of the Bentonia blues, and certainly where I've learned a lot about the music. I think it's important to remember it's worthwhile learning these recordings note for note, but the music itself is really never played the same way twice, and to get to the heart of the music is to play it in an improvisational manner. Listening to, you could hear 3, 4, 5 different versions of Devil Got My Woman by Skip James, and they're all really different. So I advise trying to hear as many versions as you can, and there's a bunch of them on YouTube and Spotify. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this is useful.